What's going on, everyone? Welcome into this episode of Timeless Sports. My name is Aaron Brady. We're coming to you broadcasting from our Victory Place studio in Dallas. So growing up, your first sport may have been t-ball or soccer, or gymnastics, maybe flag football. Well, today we're going to be debating of all of the sports you could try or play, which sport is the most difficult to learn and play? We're going to get into that on today's episode of Timeless Sports. All right, let's go around and meet the crew. We got Scotty Evans.
H-Town, let's go.
Loud Dog Richardson.
What's up, guys? We're back. Let's get it.
And Parker Smith.
Let's go, guys.
All right, sport that's most difficult to play. Parker, you're going to kick us off.
Okay, so when I thought about the most difficult sport to play, I thought about what are something that if someone had never played sports before in their life and they came in and they said, man, I really want to learn a sport, which one would be the hardest and they would take the longest for them to be good at? So the one I chose was hockey. Because I just think it'd be so difficult to learn, one, how to skate well and how to skate with fluidity and knowing what you're doing on skates, but then also giving you a stick and having this little puck that you have to hit and get inside this net. I just think that would be so difficult. It takes so much energy. I mean, you look at the hockey lines, even the professionals right now, they can only skate for 1 or 2 minutes at a time, 2 or 3 minutes at a time at the most. I mean, power plays are 4 minutes and they still have to sub in and out.
Or 2 minutes on them.
Yeah, and so literally their lines are just constantly going back and forth. And these are professionals. These are the experts, the ones who play all the time. They can only go 2 or 3 minutes at a time. And so it'd be so hard to learn that. And so that's definitely the most difficult in my mind to play.
Scott? Yeah, I can see that. That's good. I mean, you do have to take into effect the skating and all of that. Because, I mean, who skates anymore? That's got to be really difficult. But I'm going to go with science to back mine up. The hardest sport to play, in my mind, is going to be baseball. And I get it. Like, we talk about, you can joke, like, look at all the overweight people in baseball. Like, I mean, you look at CC Sabathia, you look at Prince Fielder, different people like that. But the science of hitting a baseball is pretty much impossible. Let's take the stats for a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, which isn't fast anymore. If you were to throw a fastball 90 miles an hour, that baseball would be going 60 feet in 1/3 of a second. Think about that. 60 feet, 1/3 of a second. That's faster than a snap. If you swing a baseball bat 7 milliseconds late or 7 milliseconds early, that's the difference between making contact with the ball and missing it. A batter has 50 milliseconds to judge where to swing. And that's if somebody's throwing 90. Think about if they're throwing like 95, 99. You have like no time to think. It's just instantaneous, recognizing where the ball is, swinging. And then you have to get the angle right. You have to get the launch trajectory. There's a big thing going around about like what plane do you swing the bat at? It used to be swing down. Now everybody's swinging up. There's so many factors that have to go in. Yeah, it's, a little bit more lackadaisical in the field unless you're on the infield. But just hitting a ball. And then you have the pitchers, you've got different pitches coming in with different spins that just change the hitter's eye. There's a lot that goes into it that mathematically and scientifically just makes it pretty much impossible, if you actually think about it, to do baseball well. That's why the standard is so low. If you think about it, somebody, if they bat 300 for their career, they're going to be a really good player. That means they only hit the ball 3 out of 10 times. And that's great for baseball. That's how hard it is to actually make contact and get on base. Love what you got.
I actually believe baseball is more difficult to learn than hockey, just because there's more going on in baseball. Hockey, you learn how to skate. That could be pretty tough. After a bunch of skating, little girls can skate that really a lot better than I could. So skating, and then you get a stick and you learn how to shoot. You learn how to shoot and you hit and you hit and you hit. So skating, hitting with the stick, it's like, and everybody's doing the exact same thing. Some guys are playing defense. Some guys they're all shooting if they get the opportunity to. So I think you're practicing like maybe three things over and over and over and over and over. Baseball, there's different positions and different swinging techniques and there's bunting, there's all different kinds of stuff that you're trying to do and different calls that you have to make. The one I'm going to argue, and I think it's actually easy, is football, because there's several different positions and you have to figure out how you're going to be good at that one position. If you're an offensive lineman, you have to learn steps, you have to learn blocking, you have to learn anticipate where somebody's going to go. If you're a running back, I feel like that's kind of easy. You just grab the ball and start running, but they have to have vision. They have to know where to go. And all of these guys, by the way, have to have their playbooks completely memorized from top to bottom, which would throw me off completely. So honestly, and then defense, safeties have to be able to read where cornerbacks. I don't know how you play cornerback. Like, how do you determine where someone's going to go before they go, and how do you keep them from going a specific way? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. So football overall, it's just difficult to play. It's tough.
It's physically taxing.
It's physically taxing.
You get injured all the time.
And there's just so much going on all at once. And if it's always one thing away from a touchdown or one thing away from an interception or a fumble. Like, these guys are practicing their craft day in and day out, and they're still not all of them are that great. Like, Taco Charlton gets drafted at our first round draft. He comes in and he's trash. Like, he hasn't done much, and it's because he hasn't figured out. We thought he was good, and we thought he had his craft down, but he hasn't figured it out. He hasn't unlocked that yet. And so there's just this aspect that all of these players in football have to kind of figure out to get to the next level to be good. So I don't know. That's my input. Football's the best ever.
I think there's no doubt that every sport that we talk about, every sport in general, there are difficult parts to it. You know, you guys both, baseball and football, you guys both mentioned parts that get difficult. You're going to find that with every sport. But I think if you look from top to bottom, I'm with Parker that I think it's hands down hockey. One thing that we even mentioned yet on hockey is the physicality. You talk about the NFL. You can make an argument that the NHL is more taxing physically than even the NFL. You're going through 82 games in the NHL. You go through 16 plus maybe 4 in the playoff. You're looking at about 20 games max in the NFL. You're getting about 4 times the wear and tear on your body playing in the NHL. Yeah. You're also taking that wear and tear while on skates. So you're, instead of getting hit into the turf, you're getting hit into boards and having to stay up on your skates after you get hit and go run, go skate for another 30, 45 seconds on your shift. So, yes, you got to learn how to skate. Yes, you got to learn how to have the stick in your hands and be able to learn how to shift the puck to another player or shoot the puck. And you got different ways you got to shoot it. You got one-timers. You have different dekes you can do with the stick to try to deke people out. And so all those things are true, but I think beyond anything else, you've got the taxing nature of the sport like the NFL for a much longer duration. And also the NFL, you get 1 game a week. And the NHL, you're sometimes playing 2-3 games per week. Yeah. Some of these guys even have back-to-backs. You're playing on a Tuesday night in New Jersey, Wednesday night in New York, and you're having to go face 2 teams and get thrown around 2 nights in a row. The other thing is that NHL's a take no prisoners. There's no crybabies in hockey. Like, if you get hit, you get hurt, you're not coming out of the game. Like in the NFL, you got the concussion protocol, and like if there's a little hit to the head, you got to come out. Like the NHL, it's like you better buck up. Like you're going to stay out there on your ass, or people are going to make fun of you. So like I think that every sport has its difficulties, but I think if you're looking at the most difficult, I'm with Parker. I think it's hockey in the NHL specifically. So
yeah, cool. I can see that. And I mean, think about it. If you were to take a football player or a basketball player or a baseball player or any of those players and throw them in a different sport, it's going to be difficult. But if you take somebody who plays baseball or hockey and throw them on a basketball court or give them a football, I think they'll handle themselves fairly well. They're professional athletes. But look at all of the horrible first pitches that people throw out. I mean, and then put them up to the plate. But then, I mean, you could also make the argument, like if you take somebody like CC Sabathia and throw him on skates and put him on ice.
Not going to work.
It's not going to work. So, I mean, I can get it. I can definitely see that. It's up there.
Good debate. That was good. All right, we'll see you next time.